So we're going to talk about what not to do when you're about to sell your house. What type of investments I would not recommend. Now I have a previous video on what you should do, and we'll link it in the description down below, but let's get into it. Sellers are about to pour tens of thousands of dollars into the wrong upgrades right before listing, and they're not going to see that money come back at the appraisal amount. So this could be a very big problem for you if you're selling. You have to be very tactical about where you're going to put your money in at. I was talking with a client the other day, and they were really excited about updates they were going to make to their home and wanted to bounce some ideas off me and said, hey, I'm thinking about putting a pool in the backyard. Do you think that that's a good investment? And my answer is always going to be no. We live in Washington State. A pool in Washington State does not make any financial sense. If you really want a pool and you're going to live in the house for the next 10 years, then by all means put a pool in. But if you're thinking about resale, then the answer is, of course, no. It rains all the time out here. This is not Texas. This is not Arizona. This is not Las Vegas. It's simply not a pool weather climate. So you could spend $150,000 on a pool and get zero additional value on your appraisal. If you're selling in the next 1 to 2 years, most big remodels are going to return roughly 50 cents on the dollar in that period of time. The appraiser comes and compares your house next to the one next door, and they're not paying you back for the dream renovation that you did to your house. So there's things you can do to your home that have very high return on investment, like you're going to get back multiples of what you put in. And there's things that are actually going to have a negative ROI, meaning you're actually going to lose money at the end of the day. So you don't want to do those things if you're going to sell in the next couple of years. Let's talk about the ROI reality of each different thing. Let's talk about the pool. So a pool is about $200,000 to install in our area. And let's say an appraiser credits you back $50,000 to $60,000, which is generous in Washington State. Like that's more like what you're going to see in Texas or Arizona. The Northwest climate and the local regulations mean that it's really not the best place to put a pool in. Like people actually specifically don't want pools in Washington. And I've had many buyers tell me they absolutely will not buy a house with a pool. They don't want to have the heating costs that go with it. They don't want to have the maintenance of it. They don't want the risk to their kids, whatever else. A pool is actually a detractor to more buyers than it is going to pull people in and be a benefit for. So keep that in mind. Terrible ROI. The full kitchen gut, $150,000, $200,000 to demo and rebuild a full kitchen. I'm talking the floors, the cabinets, the counters, the backsplash, the appliances, and the ROI is roughly going to be 50% at the resale. So a full bathroom gut is going to be the same story, about 50% back. These are things that are worth doing if the home is massively outdated and if updating them is going to get you into a whole new price bracket. But you have to be very careful with these. People always tell you like fix the kitchen, fix the bathrooms and update them if you want to sell your house for the most amount, but you have to make sure you're actually gonna get that money back, which means either being very cautious with how much you put in or knowing what the price would be improved and not improved on the sales side. And an agent can help you figure that out. What is my house worth if I don't do these upgrades? What is it worth if I do the upgrades? And then get a couple of bids on what it's gonna cost to actually do them. I always tell my clients get at least 3 bids on any scope of work that's going to cost more than a few $1,000s just to hold contractors accountable and make sure you're getting the best pricing. And then of course the master suite edition, permits, inspections, months of time, and this market time is money. Just take the master suite for what it is and maybe put like new floors in the bathroom, new mirrors, things like that. So what buyers actually notice and don't notice. They don't notice about doors. I care about doors. We have really nice doors in our own house. They're like beautiful 8-foot doors, but I can promise you most buyers are not putting high-end doors on their non-negotiable list. So if you have older doors, just simply paint them, swap the door hardware out, meaning the hinge and the handle. You got to do both. Make sure it matches. Black is a great look. And then boom, you're done. Don't go replace the doors. The roof, don't replace it. Hire a roof specialist. Get it certified, patch what needs patching. That certification plus the home warranty is going to carry you through inspection. And of course, with my clients, I always tell them, get the home pre-inspected before you list it to the market so that we know the roof is good before we put it on. It's just one less issue that could come up while we're under contract. Windows. I've never, ever had a buyer pick house A over house B because of really nice fancy windows. So if you've got window issues, obviously fix what's broken or leaking and then skip the full replacement. The full replacement windows is very expensive. You're talking about updating trim outside and inside, plus pulling the windows out. It's a huge pain in the butt. It's expensive to do it, and you're simply not going to make this money back. Go with what you got and just make sure it's fixed if it's broken. The furnace and the air conditioning. If it works, leave it. If it doesn't, go refurbished, close out, or slightly used. Buyers expect heat and air conditioning. They don't expect top-of-the-line brand new stuff. So where should you actually spend the money? Like what is the highest return on investment? Well, paint is going to go a long ways. And I highly recommend doing paint if the home is beat up or if it feels kind of aged or older in there. Like if you've got those like beige walls from the early 2000s, or you got some really like bright personalized color like red or green or orange or purple or whatever else. But one neutral color throughout the whole house. Ideally, the ceilings are white if the walls are not, but the year's color is really like a creamy soft white. No yellows, reds, purples, nothing crazy like that. Just one color throughout the home. And if you're not doing white on the walls, like say you're doing like, gray walls, do a white ceiling still, okay? It's gonna make the spaces feel larger. Number 2, clean the windows, every single one. An inspector once flagged my client's windows as being compromised, and they were just dirty. They thought the seals had broken. The seals were not broken. They were just really dirty and clouded up. Number 3, scrape popcorn ceilings. This one is a pain in the butt, and there's potentially asbestos in that ceiling. So be careful with this and probably hire an expert to do it. Don't do this yourself. You need someone to come in there and have the proper protection to not, have the dust get caught up in their lungs and things like that. But this is messy. It's worth it. Instantly modernizes a house by 20 years. If you have that thick, 1-inch thick popcorn ceiling, it dates the house super badly, okay? Also strip out any outdated wallpaper, that yellow floral stuff your grandma's got has got to go. Rip it off the walls, get the walls refinished, and paint it, okay? It's painful to remove, but huge return on investment. What about light touch upgrades? So if we want to take this a step further, what can we do? Well, in the kitchen, instead of replacing the cabinets, you could paint the cabinets. You could swap the knobs, refresh the faucets, so put modern stuff in there, check the garbage disposal, and just do those things. Just call it a day right there. In the bathroom, you could redo the floors. You could add glass shower doors, upgrade the lighting, swap the outlets, total facelift, not a gut job. The most impactful ones in the bathroom, always going to be the flooring and the mirror. Do those two things, and possibly the light fixture could be just a total game changer and not cost you a lot of money. But before you spend a single dollar on pre-sale upgrades, grab our strategy guide linked down below. It's only $7, and it's going to save you tens of thousands of dollars along the way. It's going to give you specific colors and ideas on exactly what to do to prepare your house to get it sold for top dollar. My name is Mike Novak with the Novak Real Estate Team. My wife, Rachel, and I have helped over 1,600 families buy or sell a home right here in Snohomish County the last 9 years. If you're thinking about making a move, schedule time to chat below using the form that's linked. You can fill out all the details about whether you're buying, whether you're selling. It comes to Rachel and I direct. We'll review it, and if we think that ourselves or one of our agents on our team could be a good fit to work with you, we will reach out to you and set up a time to chat further about your own unique situation. Of course, like, share, and subscribe to this video. That way you get notified about the new updates that come out each and every week.